And what do you think is the direction of Israel these days? Because you come from that era, the Shabbat, you've seen the greatness and the everybody speaking Hebrew, and you know it was a different time. But there was also, with the good, there was also the bad.
Right.
Because a lot of times we don't like to talk about the bad.
Sure.
We reminisce about the good.
Sure.
But what do you see as the future of Israel, or what do you think we should do to continue with this process and to carry it on in a manner that is going to be fruitful for us and for our children in the future?
Well, the first thing is, Chief, we have to learn how to get along with each other.
Right.
And we have to get along with each other in order to build and bond with one another. See, if I don't get to know you, then I can't have those hard conversations with you or dialogue with you on Torah and things like that. If we get to know each other first and we take out the hatred and, put in some love and, let's just talk and get to know one another, then I think that we can go far, and then the leaders have to be on the same page. The leaders can't be at odds with each other because that's destroying our nation for real. The leaders have to come together and come up with a solid plan to say, what direction are we going to take our people in? They have to be on one accord.
Right.
And once they do that, everyone will follow. But what's happening is that when people see that the head is sick, then the whole body is just going to just separate and do whatever. They see the leadership is not coming together. They see the leadership is not one with another. Then everybody's doing their own thing, and that can't be. So I just pray that the leadership will one day sit down and come up with a plan. Even if the leadership doesn't do it, we can do it on a congregational level. Hey, let's get to know each other. Hey, you visit me, I visit you. All these things. And these things are happening now, but it has to be so intense now because there's so many things that's going on right now. It has to now, increase. Our love for each other has to increase, and we have to be able to now say, okay, what is it that we're going to do to get back into the good graces of the Creator? Because, as I said, captivity has done us a terrible thing, and we have to be able to fix the problem that we have and stop hating one another, stop holding grudges one with another, stop lying, deceiving, all these things. If we can just do that, man, I think that we're going to be in a great shape, and the Creator will now continue. Now He will bestow blessings upon us. Say, okay, they're ready. Then doors will start opening up for us. But everybody has to be on the same page.
Who were and are your greatest influences in this way of life?
Oh, man. I have to say, first of all, my Abba, Cohane Mikael.
Right.
There was men like More Mishael, Seren Yaakov ben Shimon, Nasi Tavel, Yah rest his soul, Adon Bakar ben Yehuda, Gavret Yesuda, Gavret Ora, Ma'ima, I can't forget about her,
Right.
So many. I love them all, and they were great teachers to this day, and I know I'm forgetting so many, and I apologize, but those, to name a few, those were those that inspired me, empowered me to do well, to stay in His way of life. So many.
You went to the Israelite Institute, right?
Yes, I did.
How many years did you do there? And can you tell us a little bit about it and what you remember from it and what was the benefits of the Israelite Institute?
Oh, man. First off, I went to the Israelite Institute from the age of 3 years old. And I stopped going to the Israelite Institute at the age of 12. Okay? The benefits that the Israelite Institute brought to me in my life First of all, we didn't have school on Fridays, which was good. I enjoyed that because extra day off because we had to get ready for Shabbat. On Thursdays, we had Torah classes to get ready for the portion for the week to come.
Right.
What I also enjoyed about the Israelite Institute, you knew everyone.
Right.
And we didn't do things that you hear about today in these public school systems, you understand?
Right.
We were in uniforms. We didn't have that, oh, look at, what kind of jeans you have on? Everybody had on the same thing. You might have had different sneakers, but, as far as I'm concerned, everybody had on Pro-Keds at that time. Whatever sneakers you were wearing, Pro-Keds, Skips, whatever it is. But it was just the environment and the atmosphere that, hey, that's my brother, that's my sister. And we all had classes together, and the teachers were phenomenal. It was just a great time being in the Israelite Institute. You learned a lot. You learned more about yourself than you did about, George Washington being the first president and things like that. I mean, you learned about that stuff, but the emphasis was on learning about us as Israelites, and that's what I like. That's what's lacking. Of course, our children don't get that in the public school system today. So,
who were some of the teachers that you had at the Israelite Institute?
Oh, I had Gaveret Ora, Don Evet Yahu, Yah rest his soul. Cohen Mikhail, he taught geography. I remember that. You had, trying to remember, Gaveret Shakora. Also, you have people that came in from time to time to teach certain things. I had a Shabbat school teacher. She wasn't necessarily in the Israelite Institute, but Savlanu, she goes by the name of Nizria. She's in Israel now. She was my Shabbat school teacher for many years. But those were the teachers in the Israelite Institute that I can remember. Don Evet Yahu, Gaveret Ora, Cohen Mikhail, Gaveret Shakora, so many others that I can't remember off the top of my head, but those stick out in my mind even at this time.
I've heard things about the Israelite Institute that children were almost like geniuses. When they came out, they graduated, when they placed them in actual public school, that they were so far advanced that some had graduated from high school at 14 and 15.
That is true, and I actually was one of them. I actually graduated high school at the age of 16. So, yes, we were definitely advance in our studies and what have you. So we had great teachers. We had a full, load in terms of studies and what have you. And so when we went to public schools, by the time we went to public school, the teachers were amazed at what we knew at that level, because sometimes they want to put you back because of your age. But he said, no, man, I already learned that stuff, And so they had to promote us and they had to bump us up. And so that's why I said I was able to graduate high school at 16 years old. And just imagine being in college with 18 and 19-year-olds, and I'm 16 years old. So definitely.
What would it take for Israel to get back to that level of understanding? Because to get, to point like that is like trust.
Right.
Right? So
right.
What would it take us to get back to that level?
It's going to take commitment. Just as we pay our mortgage, we pay our rent, we pay car note, whatever, we have to pay our school bills, You see a lot of these Catholic schools and other schools, charter schools, they thrive because the parents are committed and paying that bills because they want their children to excel and they want their children to remain in this school. So it's going to take a lot of commitment from our people to listen. If you know you have tuition to pay, you got to pay it, and you got to pay it on time, and that's what's going to, that takes us to the next level, treat it like it's your bill, a monthly bill. And I think that once we are committed, then we won't have a problem, we won't have a problem at all.
So in closing, what is your message for Yisrael and for the future?
My message to Yisrael in terms of the future, I said it today. Stop the hatred, eliminate the hatred. Let's come and work together. There's nothing that's going to stop us from being a great people, you know, as long as we come together and build and bond. Every nation on the face of the earth, they, I'm sure, have problems and disagreements. But when it comes to their heritage and keeping their heritage, you know, strong, they're going to come together and do what they need to do. Israelites, we have to be just like that and perhaps even better. There's no problem that's going to keep us from going and reaching the next level. You got a grudge, or, you know, I have a grudge, we got to fix that for the greater of the nation, for the greater of the community, for our children. We have to do this, you know. Again, we have to now take the understanding and not be selfish, because our children are at stake here. This is what is at stake, our children. And so if we are committed and dedicated to our children, then it should tell us that, hey, let's look beyond our grudges and let's look beyond, you know. And guess what? The Creator's looking at us all the time. So I know He's not satisfied and happy with how we are treating one another. Because, again, it's that old, you know, situation where people start dying in this big wilderness. You know, New York City, wherever you are, I call it a one big wilderness. Right. And as we know, in ancient days, the children of Israel, they were just dying and just dropping like flies, you know. We don't want that to continue, you know. Let's do something great, and let's look beyond our own petty differences for the greater of the nation. And guess what? Let's honor the Creator in a better way and give Him the glory, because to Him be all the glory and the honor.
Toda Rabah Shetmeyah, may the Most High God bless you.
Toda Rabah.
Hallelujah.
Likewise.